There is not a lot written down for this one.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty short too. Evil cunt face poisons the dog.
Yeah, and they didn't even like really try to hide the fact that she did it because you see her dress in the frame when she puts down the hot dog.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. They
uh,
want us to know like right away she's just a fucking bitch.
mhm.
Yeah, she's evil.
What a pretty dog too.
I know that's fucked up. Was that a cane corso?
Hmm.
God damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's real pretty. I'm obviously it's not really dead, so it's not like
Yeah,
but still, that's the idea of it.
yeah,
This is where I learned how intelligently this show is written. In the first episode, there's some good conversation, especially through Monsignor. We see him kind of lay it on in his new, and because he's new, he does his thing, but and you see Beverly kind of being a bitch, and you see Joe interact, but this episode is where you see like how intelligent the show's going to be. It's
yeah.
not going to just poke at religion, it's going to make actual arguments against it. um
Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
blindly just going, oh, stupid, but it's actually got full formed thought. um
Yes, and they love a good monologue slash fucking soliloquy. They
mhm.
love that shit, and I'm here for it when it's done
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Riley's AA meeting, um
Yeah.
that was really good. I mean, it was a good back and forth um between him and the preacher. I guess that's still considered Pruitt, right? John Pruitt. I
Mhm.
mean, that's him. So
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
for sure.
I don't know what name he took when he first got to the island, but
I don't know either. Father Paul, I think he goes by Paul.
oh yeah, 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 that might be it. But yeah, that scene between them at the AA meeting, um, I was that when that happened, I was like, oh, we're in for it now. Like
Yeah.
this is going to get good if this continues. If they can continue to write this well throughout the show, this is going to be one of the best shows. And they got better and better as it went. Like that
Yeah.
was just a taste.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing dialogue.
yeah, yeah, really, really good. Um, Also, they use with Erin Green uh, when she's just randomly peeing in her bathroom after she hears the noises on her roof.
Yeah. With the
They,
curtains open.
yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a small town, I
Yeah.
guess. Plus, it seems like the majority of those people are asleep by like 6:30, kind of deal. Um, but anyways, they use the music as not only to build the atmosphere, but as its own character. It
Yeah.
feels like the music is also creeping in the scene. Like when she walks up to the window and that string hits, just that single string, and it's like,
Yes.
dun, and you're like, what the fuck? God damn it, it got me. It got me, and I knew it was gonna happen, and it still did it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
The score is really good in this. Really good. It's like a lot of like church
yeah,
shit too. It's just good. And then they all start singing. It yeah, it's definitely becomes its own character. It
yeah,
like becomes its own entity in the show.
hmm, for sure.
Um yeah, so Riley's like having dreams of this girl that he
Hmm.
killed,
Hmm.
and he's in the boat and he's like having dreams about like pretty much his own death, and it's
Hmm.
just like I don't know, it's kind of like I put down like in my notes like is this show not just about like hypocrisy and religion and vampires, but like is it also like kind of about fate? I mean, granted like every show can kind of be about that, but like
Hmm.
he's like seeing like his fate and like what would have happened if he hadn't have like killed that girl and ended up back in that island to tell Aaron, like, you know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck would have happened? So,
Yeah, I think that the show not only deals with the hypocrisy of Christianity really well, but it also just deals with life and death and like coming to terms with that, which most of his stuff usually has something to do with that. But this one's done through articulate conversation, and I like that a lot. Uh, Hill House kind of lacked that. It was more visual
mhm.
because you see the characters, like you see the one brother's like down spiral with drugs. You see the one girl's like sleep paralysis. Like they all have their own issues that are leading them towards death's door. But in this one, it's like more spoken about and
Yeah,
less visual. They're talking about how they view it and feel about it versus you see it happening.
yeah.
Um,
That conversation is so fucking good when they're like Aaron and Riley are talking about it. I can't wait till we get to that episode because that's
yeah,
just, oh man, it's
yeah,
so good.
yeah.
But yeah, so there's like Ash Wednesday,
Hmm.
and I loved it because as everyone's getting their like whatever the fuck that is, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, like the Father Paul, John, whatever, John Pruitt. He's like, remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, bruh, like that is like no one even knows there's a vampire in this show yet. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy
And I
fuck.
think at this point, you kind of know that there's something going on with him and that he's also feeding them. Like by this point, you know that he's feeding them the blood of this
Yeah,
angel, I guess,
they're
because
microdosing.
yeah, they are. And I wonder, like, it made me think, like, how long could you do that? Like, how long could you just
Yeah.
microdose and just be like Terminator
Yeah,
before
like
you before you have to like change over full vampire?
fucking juicing, bro. Like
Yeah.
yeah. We also like there we also see the first kill in this episode,
Hmm.
and that was pretty good because the dude's like he hears his own voice,
Hmm. Yeah.
and that was just fucking creepy. Not how I thought
Yeah.
it would
Yeah. It was super creepy, and I also thought that it was going to happen again. Like I thought that he could imitate people. I didn't realize that that was like an isolated incident.
go. Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and it sucks because like as much as Riley and Joe both should have to live the rest of their lives in misery because of what they've done, accident or not. I personally felt really bad for Joe. Like
Yeah.
especially, I mean, that scene when his dog died, I was like, fuck, that's powerful as shit, dude. Like, fuck yeah, that guy's badass actor
Yeah.
because he draws that emotion. Like, I cried like 3 times in this show, like probably more than that. But I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
man and admit only 3. So like,
I mean, real men cry. So
yeah, but not more than 3 times in one show. Um, but yeah, so like I, I I was like really excited to see where that character was going to go because yeah, he's pitiful, yeah, he's the drunk, yeah, he fucked up hard, but like going the direction that the show was going, I
yeah.
thought that like there was going to be a huge redemption for him. And
Yeah.
but I also liked that that drug dealer boy Bull, like when the sheriff comes up and he's like um the kid goes away and Joe says like he's the only one that treats me like a human. So if he's a drug dealer, then I wish all of you were fucking drug dealers or something along that
Yes.
line. Like
Yeah.
that really made me want to pull for him.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I mean he fucked up. It was an accident, I guess. Because you never really get a clear indication of what happens, even though
Mhm.
they explain it bits and pieces throughout the show, you never get a clear indication if like he dropped his gun, he thought that that was a deer, or what the case was, because to have shot her in the back the way he did, it seems impossible that he dropped his gun, so he must have been aiming his gun, or
Yeah.
drunk and carrying it, how they carry it across their arm or whatever,
Mhm.
and just accidentally pulled the trigger. But
Yeah.
that's a 1 in a million chance, probably
Oh,
more
for
than
sure.
that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that transpired, even though she does kind of get into it a little bit. But we
Yeah.
also see little Lisa walk.
Yeah, dude. That was fucking the first time I watched that shit, he's like, "No, walk." And I was like, "Bro,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
being such a dick right now. This is very out of pocket for you, father."
yeah,
And she's like, "What?" And he's like, and then he backs up on the stairs. He's like, "Come on, bitch, bring your ass. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you're not getting this communion."
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody work so hard for a shitty cracker in my whole
I
entire
know,
life.
right?
Like, I felt really bad, but obviously the fact that he's doing, like, he's testing where people are and
Mhm.
they're microdosing, basically. He's trying
Yeah.
to see where they are. And the thing that was bothering me more, because like you could see on her face that she was kind of confused, but immediately like was like, okay,
Mhm.
but her parents, like the way her mom was breaking down and her dad was like, yo, 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 what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
don't, like, what the fuck? That made me, like, oh shit, I feel terrible right now. Like, he's being like, I don't know. I kind of want to walk around and just do that to people now and just be like, come on, come get the cracker. Like, but I
Yeah.
feel like it would come off wrong, and then I would have to
Yeah.
try to explain that there's a show about a preacher that finds a vampire.
'Cause he's
But
microdosing everybody
yeah,
with
yeah,
vampire blood.
uh, yeah. So that's kind of all I have for this one. Do you have anything that wasn't gone over yet?
Um, I do wanna say that, yeah, like, already in this episode, like, she can walk. Riley's mom, she notices, like, that her glasses aren't working
Hmm.
for her anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't need them.
Yeah, and John, Father Paul, the preacher,
Hmm.
um, I'm gonna be referring to him as, like, 3 different things
Yeah,
throughout,
yeah, yeah.
so but he goes and he does, like, a fucking house call for mass for the doctor's mom,
Hmm.
which is just, like, fucking weird, and then we find out, like, later
Yeah.
on what the fuck that was all about, but it was
Hmm.
just like, "Alright, dude. Alright, you're really working for it, but okay."
Yeah, and yeah, you do in this episode start to see like the reversing, because you even see on the boat when Riley's like, "Dad, you're back," overacted the shit out of that scene.
Yeah.
But his dad's like, "No, no, it's fine." He's like, "Well, your back's okay?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, his back's fine. Like, he's microdosing vampire blood. Relax, everything's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start to see the reversing aging effects even on the doctor's mom. You start to see it a little bit, uh, and pretty much everybody in town for the most part. You see, it's funny because like the dad's back doesn't hurt anymore. The mom's glasses, like, she doesn't need them so much, and this little handicapped girl can walk. Like,
Yeah. She
everybody
fucking
drew,
moonwalk. Yeah.
yeah, she everybody else drew the short end of the straw on that. Like, I
Facts.
I can kind of remember who my daughter is. I can see without my glasses. My back doesn't hurt. She can walk.
Yeah.
I want whatever dose you're giving her, because
Yeah.
that's the good dose. Like, that's the right amount. Um but yeah, this episode, what else happens in this episode? That's
I
pretty
think
much it,
that's
right?
yeah.